Christmas, Yule Day, Child's Day. The slain Nimrod brought back to life. We're going to cut down that tree. We're going to bring the tree back into the house. We're going to decorate it. We're going to put a star on top. All looking forward to the risen Pope. The myth of Hiram Abiff in Freemasonry. In the third degree, he's killed. The three ruffians kill Hiram Abiff. And what happens? The master mason of the lodge, he gives him the lion's paw. Because you see, Satan is a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. He gives him the lion's paw, whispers Maha bone in his ear, which is the penis. And all of a sudden, Hiram Abiff comes back to life. Because he's the risen Pope. That's who it symbolizes. The Babylonian Messiah, whose tragic death and subsequent restoration to life and glory formed the cornerstone of ancient paganism, is now championed in the papacy. Well, the first bishop of Rome is Siricius. He's the first one to be called Pope. Emperor Phocas is the one who gives the spiritual power to Boniface III. So now the Pope is given the first of his two keys, his spiritual power. One of the popes, Gregory I, said anybody who is called universal bishop is the forerunner of Antichrist. Phocas, again, gives this power to Boniface III. He has universal spiritual power. The edifice to this universal spiritual power is this monument in Rome, put in 608. It's a monument to Phocas. So the conclusion is the spiritual power of the Pope never came from Christ or God or the Bible. It came from Phocas, a murderer, an emperor of Byzantium, or Constantinople. Well, now we have the creation of Islam. Muhammad was the creation of the papacy. Because as we shall see, Islam is the greatest sword of the church that has ever been created. The doctrines are identical. The crescent holds the host. Islam holds the papacy. The crescent holds the virgin and child. There's Mussolini. He was presented the sword of Islam, hailed as protector of Islam. And what does he do? He attacks the black Ethiopian country of Ethiopia. He kills 700,000 black non-Roman Catholic Christians. And by the way, there's a nice little Ethiopian gal that works in the restaurant down here, so you have to visit her. She works in the sports bar. It's the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem with Adolf Hitler working together during the crusade of World War II. And during World War II, as I cover in my book, Hitler, Franco, Mussolini, Stalin, FDR, Churchill all worked together. They all worked together. Just as George Bush, Tony Blair, Osama bin Laden, the Saud dynasty, they all work together. Because we Jesuits control the governments of all those countries. We control their banks. We've hoarded all the gold. All we've given those people is fake, phony, baloney currencies that's worth nothing. And to top it off, our gold isn't even collateral. And the gold all in North America is in the Federal Reserve Bank in New York City, which our Knights of Malta run. And we always put a token Jew up front to make you think that the Jews run it all. Here is Haji Min al-Husseini with the SS. And here's another SS officer with his Haji Min al-Husseini. Working together to bring about 9/11 to justify a crusade. Okay. The deal was to eliminate the Jews and non-papal Christians out of North Africa, to protect the Augustinian monks, and to give Jerusalem to the Pope. Because Jerusalem belonged to the eastern part of the empire, which did not belong to Rome. So what happens? Muhammad conquers Mecca, and we have this division of Sunni and Shia, which is very important in this crusade, and we'll get to it a little later. The sons of Ishmael and Esau are now Muslims, and they become the perfect sword of the church because according to the Bible, Ishmael is a wild man. His hand is against every man. And you couple that with Islam, you got a sword that is, well, nearly invincible. Omar the Great takes Jerusalem. I apologize for the red. That's my fault. So here's Omar, he takes Jerusalem, and he builds this abomination called the Mosque of Omar. So you see our Templars that we control. We control the Knights Templars, we control the Knights of Malta, we control all high-level Freemasonry. During this crusade, we're going to bring down the Dome of the Rock. We're going to bring down the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and we're going to blame it on you Americans, so we can incite a huge Muslim invasion into America, for which reason Fidel Castro was given Cuba, and we trained Fidel Castro for 7 years. The mosque in Medina, the mosque in Mecca, and those also are going to go up in smoke too, to unite Islam against the great Satan of the West. So, what does Islam do? It takes North Africa. And here's a classic example of the papacy using Islam to kill off its enemies. The Visigoths here were Arians. They did not believe in the papal trinity. So Islam was used to invade Spain and into southern France to neutralize the Arians. And then after they were neutralized, the papacy reconquered Spain and drove them away. This is an example how Rome uses Islam to destroy its enemies. Here's Charles Martel, the Battle of Tours, keeping Islam out of France. Here we have Islam taking all of North Africa, this area, Spain, but it doesn't take the western half of the empire, which will become Orthodox. So the Pope's going to remedy that. So by 1580, Islam is out of Spain, has taken North Africa, has destroyed the Jewish communities for the most part, Bible-believing Arabs, and absorbed Turkey and the Grecian area. Because we have to kill off all Bible-believing Christianity anywhere we can find it, and we're going to use Islam to do it. In Africa today, Islam is slowly moving down Africa. Remember, at the beginning of the Inquisition against Ethiopia was World War II, and now Ethiopia is half Muslim, half Christian. Well, we're going to continue to kill off all the Christian peoples of Africa, and we are going, just like in South Africa today, as I will show, that the historic white Protestant South Africans are being killed out by the Knights of Malta, controlled by the Queen. And by the way, we control the Queen of England. We control all the monarchs. If they don't submit to us, we kill them. And we use our international intelligence community to do it. And you have to be a special person to escape our assassins. Here's the war today. This is all Sunni, 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 Sunni. But look at the Shia. They first invaded Afghanistan, then Iraq. The Shia have to be dealt with because you see the Shia, the leadership of the Shia is regarded as infallible and divine, whereas the leadership of the Sunni is regarded not as infallible and divine. And there can only be one man who's infallible and divine on the face of the earth, and that's the Pope. That's our Pope. So therefore we have to eliminate the Shia because they're raining on our parade. And so you can know that there will be an invasion into Iran. And there's the Pope kissing the Quran, and why wouldn't he? Islam has been his greatest servant. Pope Stephen III is now given temporal power, 156 years after spiritual power. And now the Pope has the two keys. He's given the temporal power by Pepin. Universal temporal power comes from Pepin, not from the Bible. So now let's just take a look and see how temporal power and spiritual power works.